worst injury to date?
My worst injury was broken pelvis. November 2003.
Take me through what happened.
It was probably the worst skating day ever. We did a 5-week U.S. tour, and I was invited to participate in Wildboyz, which is basically a Jackass spinoff.
Okay.
A couple of the guys in Jackass.
Was that like Steve-O and?
It was Steve-O and Chris Pontius.
Okay.
And they were doing, it was more animal oriented. And they said, we have this chimp that can skate. And do you guys want to skate with this chimp at Bob Burnquist, who is a fellow pro, at his house? And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll take my kids and see the skating chimp.
Right.
And so we wore chimp costumes and we were skating. And Bob has a loop ramp, which is basically a full 360. You go all the way upside down like a roller coaster.
Right.
Which is something that we had on our tour. We had a loop ramp on our tour. We were doing it every night. It was almost like we took it for granted. We were so cocky with it. It became easy. So it became just sort of this easy thing for us. The problem was Bob has this loop that's been out in the weather for years. No one rides it because it's frightening to learn how to do it. And so it's just different than the one that we were skating. And as we were skating, doing the stuff through the day, he said, hey, we should do the loop. I said, yeah, let's do it. And I should have known, because my first attempt, I started coming off the wall about at 12 o'clock and just fell and knee slid my way through it. And the problem was his starting ramp was too slow. And so I tried to overcompensate on the starting ramp, and that sent me into sort of a wrong position for the loop. And I ended up shooting out immediately at the loop and flying through the middle of it, landing on my hip and on my head. Fractured skull, broken pelvis, broken thumb, knocked out, woke up in the ambulance, and realized that I should not take the loop for granted. That one was pretty ugly and definitely life-threatening. I hit my head really hard.
Okay.
And so it took me a full year to gain my confidence back of tricks that I used to take for granted.
Why?
Because you just feel so fragile, and you feel like, oh, maybe I'll fall. What if I hit? What if I hit my hip again? What if I knock this loose? And every time that I would hit my hip or my leg at all during that time, I could feel the shift in there, because the fracture was so deep that I could sort of feel that movement. And it just gave me pause. It took me a long time before I did 900s again, I'll tell you that.
Do you wonder, even if you feel fine now, 10 years down the line as you age, if you're gonna?
I do, yeah, a little bit. But to be honest, I've noticed that just staying active is what has kept me the most limber and the most healthy. If I take any time off for whatever reason, even if it's an injury or if it's just for family purposes, getting back is much harder to do, and getting in that groove and feeling like I can handle that sort of endurance.